I know I've run my last lap when I leave a world championships with zero medals.
At the top of the sprinting world, Noah Lyles has stunned fans and fellow athletes with a surprising confession. Despite being at the peak of his career, with Olympic gold and multiple world championship titles, Lyles has already spoken openly about retirement. His words sent shockwaves through the track and field community. "I know I've run my last lap when I leave a world championships with zero medals. And it wasn't because of injury or something like that." At just 28 years old, Lyles has achieved almost everything an athlete could dream of. He holds an Olympic gold in the 100 meters, an American record in the 200 meters at 19.31 seconds, and a sprint treble from the 2023 World Championships. In Tokyo 2025, he once again proved his dominance, taking gold in the 200 meters for the fourth straight time and anchoring Team USA to a 4x100m relay victory. Yet, in the middle of all the glory, Lyles is already thinking about the finish line of his career. In a candid interview with Speakeasy, he revealed that his retirement will not be dragged out. He won't linger in the sport past his prime. Instead, he plans to exit with dignity, likely between 2028 and 2032. That means fans may never see him on the track at the 2032 Brisbane Olympics, where he would be 35. Laughing at the idea of running into his 40 seconds, Lyles firmly stated, "Will I be sprinting until 45? Certainly not." For him, age 34 or 35 marks the final stage of his journey. This honest talk about the end comes from a man who's endured both triumph and heartbreak. At the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, Lyles battled depression and personal struggles. He still managed to win bronze in the 200 meters, but the medal felt empty. He knew he hadn't tapped his full potential. That perspective shaped his hunger for redemption. By the time of the Tokyo World Championships in 2025, he was back on top, smiling as he claimed his fourth consecutive 200 meters crown. His resilience has made his victories even sweeter and his reflections even deeper. After the Paris Olympics in 2024, when he turned 27, Lyles realized he had crossed into the second half of his career. "Paris was the halfway mark for me. Turning 26 to 27, I thought, okay, I'm on the other side of the hill now." Rather than fear aging, he uses it as motivation to push harder, savoring every season. Lyles' resume speaks for itself. He is undeniably one of the fastest men to ever live. In the 100 meters, he clocked a blazing 9.79 seconds at the 2024 Paris Olympics, solidifying his dominance in the sprint's most iconic event. His mastery of the 200 meters is even more historic, with a 19.31-second run in Eugene in 2022, setting the American record and ranking as the third fastest time in history. Indoors, he has shown the same explosive power, sprinting 60 meters in 6.43 seconds in Albuquerque in 2024. And in the rarely run 150 meters, Lyles left his mark with a national record of 14.41 seconds in Atlanta that same year. Together, these performances highlight not just his versatility, but also his consistency across every distance he takes on. He's a two-time Olympic medalist in the 200 meters, a 100 meters Olympic champion, and an 8-time world champion. At the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, he completed the rare sprint treble, winning gold in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100m relay. But it's not just the medals, it's his personality, his showmanship, and his openness that have made him a global star. From his flamboyant entrances to his candid interviews, Lyles has carried the sport on his shoulders at a time when athletics needs fresh energy. Lyles is already looking at the future beyond himself. At the Tokyo Worlds, he was the second oldest finalist in the 200 meters. Around him were rising stars Oblique Seville and Kishane Thompson at 24, Brian Level at 21, and Letsile Tebogo, the two-year-old Olympic champion. Even younger, Australia's Gout, just 17, made headlines as the youngest competitor in the 200 meters. Lyles doesn't see them as threats, he sees them as the future. "When I leave with zero medals, it's time for the swan song. Time to let the next generation have it." Speaking about Gout, Lyles was realistic. "He's obviously so young and very talented. You've got to be a business person and you've got to be it young. That's the hardest part about being such a young talent." By acknowledging these younger athletes, Lyles shows both humility and foresight. He knows his role isn't just to dominate, but also to inspire and prepare the sport for its future stars. He has even embraced mentorship through camps and sponsor events, where he interacts with teenagers dreaming of Olympic stardom. For Lyles, legacy isn't just measured in medals, it's about leaving track and field stronger than he found it. Looking back, Lyles' journey has been marked by resilience. From his early days battling asthma and switching from gymnastics to track to narrowly missing the 2016 Olympics, his rise was never straightforward. But by 2019, he had already become a double world champion, and by 2022, he had broken Michael Johnson's 200 meters national record. His story is also about balance. He's spoken openly about mental health, about battling doubt, and about the importance of surrounding himself with the right team. His current coach, Lance Brahman, and his close circle have been key to his consistency. "If I really push everything I want out of every year and month and week and day that I have, I don't think I'll ever regret any of the years," Lyles once said. That philosophy has carried him through the highs and lows, and it shapes how he sees the end, not as something to fear, but as a natural chapter. Noah Lyles isn't just an athlete, he's also a creator. His YouTube channel has over 356,000 subscribers and more than 36 million views, giving fans an inside look at his training, lifestyle, and personality. He understands the importance of building a brand and connecting with fans beyond the stopwatch. From racing ice show speed in a viral 50 meters exhibition organized by Mr. Beast to speaking out on social issues, Lyles has embraced the modern role of athlete as entertainer, influencer, and leader. He has even used his platform to spotlight mental health, encouraging younger athletes to seek help when they struggle, just as he once did. That's why his retirement comments landed so heavily. For fans, it feels unthinkable that the reigning king of sprinting is already imagining his final race. But for Lyles, the announcement isn't about quitting, it's about clarity. He doesn't want to fade away, he wants to leave at the top on his terms. The window he gave between 2028 and 2032 means fans still have years to watch him electrify stadiums, but it also sets a countdown clock. Every championship, every Olympics from now on could be one step closer to his farewell. Noah Lyles has shocked the world, not by slowing down, but by being honest about how he wants his story to end. He's still winning, still dominating, and still breaking barriers. Yet he already sees the day he'll hand the baton to the next generation. For now, the Sprint King is still very much on his throne, but when he finally steps down, it won't be because age defeated him. It will be because he chose the perfect moment to say goodbye. Until then, every race, every victory, and every medal matters even more, for him, for the sport, and for the millions of fans who don't want to imagine track and field without Noah Lyles.
But watch Seville on the near side. It's ever so close. Seville from Thompson. Lyles.
Oblique Seville kept losing when it mattered most. He would run really fast. He would make it to the big final race. And then, fourth place, every single time. Not third place with a medal. Fourth place with nothing. Just sadness. But something amazing happened in Tokyo. The greatest runner ever, Usain Bolt, was watching from his seat, and this time everything was different. On September 14th, 2025, at the World Championships in Tokyo, the men's 100-meter final took place. This wasn't just any race. Jamaica hadn't won this title in almost 10 years. Since Usain Bolt retired, American sprinters had been winning everything. 4 world titles in a row for Team USA. Jamaica needed someone to bring the gold back home. And there he was. Oblique Seville, 24 years old, standing just 5'7", about to race against the fastest men on earth. And up in the stands watching every single moment was Usain Bolt himself. But first, let's talk about who Oblique Seville is. When he was just 10 years old, he told his mom something pretty bold. He said he wanted to be trained by Usain Bolt's coach, not just any coach, Glenn Mills, the man who helped make Bolt the fastest human ever. And somehow, that dream actually happened. Seville joined the famous Racers Track Club in Jamaica, and Glenn Mills became his coach. But having a great coach doesn't mean winning is easy. Far from it. In 2022, Seville went to the World Championships. He ran the fastest time in the semifinals. Everyone thought he'd get a medal. He finished 4th. No medal. In 2023, he went back to the World Championships in Budapest. Again, he had the fastest time going into the final. He ran 9.88 seconds. That's crazy fast. But guess what? He finished 4th again, same time as the guys who got silver and bronze. The photo finish showed he was just 0.04 of a second away from a medal. Then came the 2024 Olympics in Paris. This was supposed to be his moment. He ran the fastest time in the semifinals, faster than everyone. But in the final, disaster struck. He got injured during the race. His hamstring gave out. He finished dead last. 8th place, After being the fastest in the semis, people started doubting him. They wondered if he could handle the pressure, if he could actually win when it mattered most. Some people even wrote him off completely. But Seville didn't give up. He kept training, he kept working with Glenn Mills, and he figured something out. All season long, he'd been struggling with the last 30 to 40 meters of his races. He wasn't finishing strong. He didn't even realize it at first, but once he knew what the problem was, he fixed it. Now back to Tokyo. September 14th, race day. The semifinals happened first, and right away, you could see something was different. Kishane Thompson and Kenny Bednarik both ran 9.85 seconds, exactly the same time down to the thousandth of a second. They were the fastest qualifiers. Noah Lyles, the defending champion and Olympic gold medalist, had to recover from a bad start but still made it through with 9.92. But then came Seville's semifinal. He ran 9.86, really smooth, really fast. And when he crossed the finish line, he did something interesting. He put his finger to his lips, like he was telling everyone to be quiet, to stop doubting him. Less than 2 hours later, the final was about to start. The stadium was packed, hot and humid, felt like a giant steam room, but the energy was electric. Up in a VIP box, Usain Bolt sat watching, the man with 8 Olympic gold medals and 11 world titles, the fastest human being who ever lived. He was there to see if Jamaica could finally win again. Down on the track, the 8 finalists were getting ready. Noah Lyles was doing his usual thing. When they announced his name, he raised his arms like a boxer and roared at the crowd. He'd said earlier that he was in the best shape of his life. That confidence never goes away with Lyles. Next to him was Kishane Thompson. He's also 24, just like Seville. Earlier this year, Thompson had run 9.75 seconds. That's the fastest time anyone had run in 10 years. He was the fastest man in the world this season. At the Paris Olympics, he'd lost to Lyles by just 0.005 seconds, the smallest margin you can imagine. Thompson was bouncing around, excited, ready to race. And then there was Seville. While everyone else was hyped up and showing emotion, he stayed cool, ice cold, just waiting for his moment. But before the race even started, something crazy happened. Letsile Tebogo, the Olympic 200-meter champion from Botswana, false started. He jumped the gun and got disqualified. Just like that, one of the favorites was out. The runners got back on the blocks, the gun went off, and this time it counted. Thompson exploded out of the blocks. That's his strength. He's powerful, fast at the start. He took the lead immediately. Seville was actually behind early on. Kenny Bednarik, who'd been one of the favorites, had a terrible start and never recovered. As they hit the middle of the race, Thompson was still leading. His form looked good, he was in control, but something was about to happen. Around the 60-meter mark, you could see Thompson's form start to get a little messy. Not terrible, but not perfect either, and that's when Seville made his move. Remember what he'd been working on all season? That strong finish in the last 30 to 40 meters? This was it. This was the moment. Seville started pulling ahead. His form was perfect, smooth, powerful. Thompson could see him coming. Later, Thompson said, "When it came to the last 5 meters, I saw Oblique was moving, and then I was like, oh." There was nothing Thompson could do. Seville crossed the line first. 9.77 seconds. A personal best, the best time of his entire life, and it came when he needed it most. Thompson finished second in 9.82. Noah Lyles got third with 9.89, which was actually his best time of the whole season. But this wasn't just about the times, it was about what it meant. As soon as Seville crossed the finish line, he ripped his jersey open, tore it right off his chest, beat his chest with his fists. All that emotion, all those years of heartbreak, all the doubts, everything came pouring out. And up in the stands, Usain Bolt was going absolutely wild, cheering, punching the air, celebrating like it was his own race. Because this was his coach's athlete. This was Jamaica's new champion. Jamaica hadn't won a global men's 100-meter title since Bolt won at the Rio Olympics in 2016, 9 years. And now, finally, the gold was back home. Even better, it was a Jamaican 1-2 finish, Seville and Thompson both on the podium together. That hadn't happened for Jamaica in a global championship since the 2012 Olympics, 13 years ago. After the race, Seville was asked how it felt to win in front of Bolt. His answer was perfect. He said, "It is just a tremendous feeling to compete in front of Usain here in Tokyo. His coach is my coach, and I know that both of them are very proud of me right now. They were telling me I am going to be the world champion. I have proved in front of him that I am a champion, and I am very proud of that." For Jamaica, It was the end of a long wait. 9 years without a global 100-meter title. That's a lifetime in track and field. And now, with Seville and Thompson both on the podium, the future looks bright.
Kebinatshipi, can he turn it into a gold medal for Botswana? Kebinatshipi becomes the first ever champion.
In the middle of a rain-soaked night at Tokyo's National Stadium, the men's 400 meters final was supposed to be a battle of rising names with no clear favorite. Instead, it turned into the birth of a new global star. Only 21 years old, Busang Colin Kebinatshipi of Botswana stormed around the track in 43.53 seconds, not only setting a national record and the fastest time of the season, but also delivering one of the most shocking upsets of the World Athletics Championships. In one lap, a young runner from a small nation redefined what was possible and left the sporting world stunned.
I'm still in shock, but coach have been telling me since warm-up, he's been telling me, man, you are ready. Stop doubting yourself, so go and do your thing.
The men's 400 meters final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo was unlike any in recent memory. The heavyweights were missing. Olympic champion Quincy Hall was sidelined with injury. Matthew Hudson-Smith, silver medalist in Paris, and Muzala Samukonga, bronze medalist, didn't make it past the semifinals. The reigning stars were out, leaving a field of new blood and rising talents. That meant opportunity. South Africa's Zakithi Nene entered as the fastest man of the season, clocking 43.76 earlier in 2025. Trinidad and Tobago's Jareem Richards, a veteran at 31, was chasing one last great performance. Jamaica's Rushin McDonald was back in contention, alongside a surprise finalist from Japan, Yuki Joseph Nakajima, energizing the home crowd. And then there was Botswana, fielding not one, not two, but 3 finalists, Kebinatshipi, Bayapo Ndori, and Lee Bekempelo Epi. For a nation of just over 2 million people, it was extraordinary. Colin Kebinatshipi's rise has been steady, but nothing about it suggested a breakout this massive. Born in Hukunsi, Botswana, on the 13th of February 2004, Kebinatshipi was a prodigy from his teenage years. In 2021, he was part of the Botswana 4x400 meters relay team that captured gold at the World U20 Championships. By 2022, he was winning gold medals at the African Championships in both the men's and mixed 4x400 meters relays. In 2023, he won the 400 meters title at the African U20 Championships in Ndola, Zambia, clocking a record 44.91 seconds. He also tested himself on the European circuit, running 45.01 inches hangalo to beat an international field. At the World Championships in Budapest later that year, he lowered his personal best to 44.8 and reached the semifinals, a clear sign he was on the rise. In 2024, Kebinatshipi experienced both disappointment and triumph. He narrowly missed making the individual Olympic final in Paris, but helped Botswana win silver in the 4x400 meters relay alongside Bayapo Ndori and 200 meters champion Letsile Tebogo. It was Botswana's first Olympic relay medal, and it showed that the small African nation was emerging as a sprinting powerhouse. Earlier in 2025, Kebinatshipi sharpened his form on the Diamond League circuit. He ran 44.53 inches Xiamen, 44.63 inches Shanghai, and 44.51 inches Rome, consistently placing among the top 3. Though he finished only 7th in Zurich's Diamond League final, the experience hardened him. By September, he was primed for something special. Kebinatshipi's Tokyo campaign was a masterclass in steady escalation. In the heats on September 14, Kebinatshipi opened his campaign with a smooth and confident 44.48. 2 days later, in the semifinals, he unleashed a stunning personal best of 43.61, the fastest time of the season at that stage, and a clear warning to the rest of the field. By the time of the final, on September 18, he was ready for the moment. Racing through rain and pressure, he produced an even greater performance, stopping the clock at 43.53 seconds, a new Botswana national record and the world lead. Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago pushed hard to claim silver in 43.72, also setting a national record, while Bayapo Ndori surged through for bronze in 44.2, his season's best effort. Kebinatshipi could hardly believe it. Getting a gold medal is the dream come true for us. I didn't expect it to come so early at this age, but it shows I can do even more in the coming years. Bayapo Ndori was equally stunned. We are very surprised. We never thought this would happen. Jareem Richards, gracious in defeat, celebrated his own success. Finally, I've been struggling for this since 2017. To improve the national record in the World Championships final was one of my dreams. Another goal was to grab the gold. Not this time, but I am satisfied with second. For Botswana, this was historic.